already in. Now, obviously, there is another possibility right here. We've been studying this wake of accumulation on the Jasmy price chart, but we may break this support right here. But for me, it depends on the manner of how we break this support right here. If we quickly break this support right here and have a quick retrace right here, the moment this happens, I'm turning very bullish, because this will now be a confirmation that this one right here was in the spring, but this one would be suggesting that this one is actually the spring right here. So I'll be turning very bullish on the Jasmy price chart once something like this happens. It depends on the manner of how we break the support right here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're in the world. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Jasmy update. The clip you just saw was from a video I made last week, in which we're investigating a certain structure which was suggesting that the bottom for the Jasmy price was already in. So we have had some crazy price action in the last couple of hours, and we want to take a look at that. But before I do that, I just want to encourage you to delicately tap the like button, because it really helps with the YouTube algorithm. People looking for this kind of information will now be able to find it much more easily, right? Also, I want to encourage you to subscribe to the channel if you're interested in Jasmy, which I'm sure you are. So yeah, go ahead and tap that subscribe button. So let's start here on a positive note. On Friday last week, I made a video, an emergency video about this symmetrical triangle, which I was seeing on a 1 hour time frame. And congratulations to everyone who was involved in this trade, because we perfectly hit the price target right. If you don't want to miss on this kind of updates, be sure that you're subscribed and you turn on the notification bar, right? But the last trade has been kind of overshadowed by the events in the last couple of hours, right? And we're going to look at this structure here to see whether we have actually broken something structurally and if it's time to panic or it's nothing to panic about, right? So let's begin here. You can see that we have had this wake of accumulation pattern since, let me go back here, it's 22 May, right? We've been in this wake of accumulation pattern here. Obviously, I've redrawn this because in my initial analysis, I was taking this area right here as the spring. But as I mentioned in the last video, if we would break this support right here, it depends obviously on the manner that we would break this thing right here. And we eventually got that quick breakdown to the downside. So now the question is, are we going to quickly recover and get back into the trading range right here? I would have to come up with a more comprehensive video tomorrow, so stay tuned for that one as well, because right now we don't have too much price action. But what I can tell you at the moment is the wake of accumulation structure is looking really good at the moment. For people who want to have an idea of the structure, this is the structure here, the wake of accumulation structure, where you have phase A, phase B, phase C, phase D, and right now it looks like we are in phase C here, where we have this spring, right, which actually is the lowest point. That's the good side of the story here, and from here it's going to be up right here, right? So we have all these things on the Jasmy price chart. Let me quickly go back and show you here. We have phase A here. This is our preliminary support right here, our selling climax, secondary test in phase B. Obviously we can have multiple secondary tests, which actually confused me the first time right here, and it was looking like a spring, but yeah, it seems like we are actually having a legit spring right here. Let me go ahead and show you how this structure usually works. So let me quickly go down to a shorter time frame here, because there's a structure I'm seeing which is really common at springs of wake of accumulations, right? So let's quickly go down here. Let's choose the 4 hourly time frame. So yeah, this is the structure I'm talking about. It's really common, especially in wake of accumulation springs. I'm just going to go ahead and show you an example or two so that you can have a perfect understanding of what I'm saying here. So yeah, here's an example of the structure I showed you on the Jasmy price chart. You can see that here, back then in 2014, it marked the bottom of the Bitcoin bear market right here. Also, you can see that Bitcoin went into a wake of accumulation structure. This one is a little bit different from what we have there, but it's basically the same thing. It's also a wake of accumulation structure, and it marked also this part right here, this spring of this wake of accumulation structure. So yeah, you can see it 2 times on the Bitcoin price chart. It's basically the same thing that we have on the Jasmy price chart. So yeah, this structure here is really optimistic. So yeah, going back to the bigger time frame, I want you to notice something that is happening right here. You can see that here with our preliminary support right here, we had the highest volume. At the selling climax, the volume kept decreasing here. I mean, this is sell volume, mind you, right? And then in our secondary test right here in phase B, you can see that the volume is also decreasing right here, keeps decreasing. This is, I'm talking about selling volume, by the way. And then here on this recent drop today, there's literally no volume here. You can see that this is really characteristic of springs, because their main aim is to shake out the retail investor. And it's not a surprise to me, really, considering that we have a crazy week ahead of us. I mean, this is the week that the Fed is supposed to have their interest rate meeting, and the markets have already priced in a 50 to 75 basis points rate hike, right? But I have an observation that I've made, especially on Twitter. I saw Elon Musk saying that if the Fed raises interest rate further, we are likely to go into actually a recession, right? Goldman Sachs also said something along that lines. I also saw Kathy Wood saying that yeah, if the Fed actually increases interest rate this time around, we are likely to have some kind of a deflation, right? So yeah, really interesting to see. And yeah, I can imagine if the Fed doesn't increase interest rate this time around. I mean, I'm not a Fed expert, obviously. I'm also not a financial advisor, but you know, I mean, we could be headed for a surprise this week. But yeah, the bottom line is this is our spring right here, and from here things are actually going to start getting better for the Jasmy price. So yeah, this is it from me. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with your friends and family, and see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.